plays a very important role in architecture, you could say. During the day, we have enough daylight, sometimes from side windows in earlier times in churches, that you can dramatize the space within. But or in the theater, that sometimes you think, gosh, this was a fantastic performance, with these dramatic lights emphasizing the beauty of the costumes and the expressions on the face of the performance. And don't forget that history of playing with light in architecture, or in the events we go to, like the theater or opera. Similarly, in architecture, we could use light to dramatize the quality of a space or a corner or a painting on the wall. Today, with LED light, and yeah, light becomes almost data, you could say. It's so well connected to technology today. You can give it a circadian quality, whereby you, with each moment of the day or season, you can manipulate the light in a particular direction, so that you don't get eye strains or headaches or stress. It can promote a lot of healthy topics around the way we live and work, for instance. So what you can do with light at the moment is quite unbelievably rich. It's fantastic. Not anymore add-on product, I would say, because it used to be seen as a kind of, first the form and the colors are important, and then you add on a very nice light system, and then you can finish off the space. But I would say light becomes a more essential part of the parameters or the principles of design. In the design process, you could actually bring in specifications and the detailing of the light maybe a bit later on. But if you develop a concept for a light idea or wayfinding strategy around the way how you, for instance, in the Arnhem train station, we use daylight to emphasize where the taxis stand or where the trains are, or where you have to enter the parking space for bikes. And this was even a way of not specifying in details what kind of for specifications we went for, but this was just an architectural principle of where do we make openings to bring in the daylight through the space, and then later on you start with that to emphasize more the technical details and the applications for the artificial light with this. In a later part of the design process. But what is quite interesting about Delta Light is that they have a fantastic research team. We work with them on the future of light in the work environment, but also could be attached to the home, and how we could think of call it a modular manual, the modular element kits and parts of an element or a system. Whereby we could create different elements who could be used in different separated elements in, for instance, more softer environment than a work environment or a meeting space alone. And the request was, and also the ambition from our side, is to bring in more the technological side, data-oriented aspects related towards it. I discovered with all the research we did how badly and unhealthy or indoor environments are organized, and it's often to do with the materials we use, but particularly light. Light is not always so well distributed in a space where you're often longer in than the place at home. If you work in 8 days. Fully in an environment where you have to intensely work, then apart from your sleeping time, you spend more hours than at home. But we picked up some of these topics like acoustics, and particularly also the circadian light quality of how you could improve that. And in a recent study, it was found that more than 70% of the people they felt more energized and happier as a result of good lighting in their office. So if you do it well, then you can increase in 12% of improvement in work performance, and that was the ambition of the system. And another thing was to have a system whereby you could attach sensors to, and that you could also deal with the fact that you might have also an integral system, but that if you're sitting on one end of the table, that you can have then your individual light or another type of light than the other person.